Today we're going to talk about the need for healthy fats. This is something that was prompted by someone who watched a YouTube video of ours. She has some things going on, but particularly PCOS, and was making great strides in changing her diet to an almost vegan diet and or low glycemic index diet to try to help her body regulate its own insulin levels, manage her weight, deal with the PCOS and all of the other symptoms that come with that. But part of her question was something that really struck me that I thought that many may not know, and that we don't talk about all that much, although I know I've mentioned it a few times. So the need for healthy dietary fats. It's a very important thing. The viewer's question was, is dietary cholesterol necessary for hormone production and thus ovulation? Just a second question. Doesn't my body make all the cholesterol it needs on its own without the need for it in my diet? So the short answer to the first question is yes. Cholesterol is very necessary for hormone production and in turn hormonal a regular menstrual cycle and ovulation, including ovulation. It is very necessary for hormone production and hormonal balance and in order to have a healthy menstrual cycle, healthy fertility, including ovulation. So yes to that question. And the second question is no. The body does not make 100% of the cholesterol that it needs. Something I didn't really realize. I knew that we consumed it through diet. I'm very aware of good and bad cholesterol. I've had that tested on myself multiple times. Bad cholesterol is an issue in the maternal side of my family, and I'm getting to that age where you like to keep tabs on those things, or at least start paying more attention. But anyway, no, the body does not make 100% of the cholesterol that it needs. In fact, the liver and the intestines make about 80% of the cholesterol it needs, and that remaining 20% we get from our diet. Isn't that kind of interesting? So anyway, I have a longer explanation. Bear with me. I hope this is interesting. But fat intake is really vital for healthy fertility. Cholesterol is needed in order for we humans to be alive. It's necessary for healthy cell formation. Cholesterol is found in every cell of the body. It's necessary for all production of all steroid hormones. Progesterone, estrogen, FSH, the list can go on a little while. We cannot have proper hormonal balance without adequate amounts of saturated fat. We cannot have a child or have a healthy pregnancy without proper hormonal balance, right? You all know that. Cholesterol is used by the body to make vitamin D. It's very important for that. And it's also necessary for the body to be able to produce fat-dissolving bile acids. So cholesterol is something that we all must have. We all need it. We just need a healthy balance of cholesterol. So because we need to feed the body cholesterol, we really want to worry not so much about how much fat we eat, but be concerned about the types of fat that we eat. This is really my main point in this Periscope. If you want more of the science behind cholesterol, what good and bad cholesterol is, how the body makes it in particular, there are multiple resources for that. The Mayo Clinic, Harvard, you'll find it anywhere. The American Heart Association, I'm certain, has information all sorts of places. So go there for the science. It's not necessarily my forte, and I'm not a doctor. But I want to talk to you more about those types of good fat that we need to be eating for our fertility and for hormonal balance. So we need a certain amount of saturated fat to produce cholesterol. It is when cholesterol concentrations in the blood get too high that it becomes a danger. It puts people in risk for a variety of different health issues. If you're eating a low-fat diet, there could also be issues with ovulation due to lack of progesterone and menstrual cycle irregularities, which can further be exacerbated by fertility health conditions, particularly estrogen-dominant fertility health conditions, right? Eating trans fats have an effect on the body. We know that. Those are bad fats. It can interfere with cell receptors involved in inflammation, involved in glucose metabolism and insulin balance or insulin sensitivity. Glucose metabolism and insulin sensitivity are often issues for women with PCOS or people who are dealing with diabetes or prediabetes and perhaps obesity. All of those things, all of those people dealing with all of those things usually have issues with those, glucose metabolism, insulin sensitivity. Anyway, so what do you do? What do you do about it? How do you eat healthy fats? Where do you go? How do you know? First of all, if you're concerned about your cholesterol, you need to talk to your doctor about having testing, or your healthcare provider. A naturopath probably can test cholesterol. I certainly would think so. Find out where you're at. Find out what your levels are. And I do want to make one note before I go on that if you have a heart health issue, if you have heart health concerns, it really is going to be best to work with your healthcare provider to decide the best program, including diet. And you could work with your healthcare provider and a nutritionist to pick the right foods for you. I don't want you going that alone if you have a heart health concern or taking my advice. Again, I'm not a medical doctor. So please take caution if you're concerned about your heart. But anyway, what do you do? What do you do about getting enough fat to support your fertility and not too much of the wrong kind? And what are those good fats that I talked about a little bit ago? We need to avoid any food marketed as fat-free or low-fat. They're really devoid of nutrients. They've been, the really good stuff's been taken out and additives have been put in, and those additives typically aren't healthy additives. They do cause other problems or make them not so healthy. We need to limit baked goods, processed foods, deep fried foods. Trans fats are found in many deep fried and processed foods. We also may want to limit animal products. I'm going to talk a little bit more about that in a couple of seconds, particularly if you have high cholesterol, but you can eat some of them, so keep listening. We need to be including healthy fat in our fertility diet, and those healthy fats are avocado, nuts and seeds like raw walnuts, almonds, a Brazil nut here and there, pumpkin seeds, flax seeds, chia seeds, sesame seeds. If you're seed cycling, if you haven't heard of that, you can look on our website, but if you're seed cycling, that would include sunflower seeds, coconut oil or cold pressed olive oil that is not heated very much. It's the excessive heat that causes those oils to transition over and become bad for us. So cold pressed olive oil or coconut oil, cage-free pastured eggs, avocado. If you choose dairy, it needs to be raw dairy, or at least a really good quality organic full-fat dairy, and only in moderation. And what else? Eat foods rich in omega-3 fatty acids. Those are nuts and seeds and things like cod liver oil. That's a supplement you could take. Wild Alaskan salmon, if you're eating fish here and there, halibut, things like that. Include those in your diet. You need to be increasing your intake of soluble fiber. Soluble fiber helps flush out many, many bad things or things that aren't benefiting our health through our digestive system. We need to be eating a lot of fiber. And think protein from plants and whey. I know whey is from an animal product, it's from milk, but there's actually several studies according to the Mayo Clinic that have shown that whey protein given as a supplement can lower LDL cholesterol and total cholesterol as well as blood pressure. So if you want to find that information, I'm sure the Mayo Clinic has that somewhere. But certainly consider plant sources of protein and whey. We need to be exercising regularly. 30 minutes of moderate intensity exercise at least 5 days a week. And if you are an over-exerciser and too thin, it might be time to consider cutting back or working with someone to cut back just a little bit. And if you have concerns about exercise and the amount of exercise you're doing, you can reach out to us and we can help you walk through that. And if you smoke, you need to quit smoking. I know it's harder than that, but it's just another reason why smoking is just really bad for us, really bad for cholesterol levels, heart health, among numerous other body systems, right? Bad for all those things. So I want to take a step back and give you an idea of serving sizes for some of the things that I just mentioned to include the healthy fats. About a half an ounce of nuts is a serving size. 1 to 2 whole cage-free pastured eggs. You want those eggs with those really bright, almost deep orange yolks. Those are the good ones. 1/3 of a medium avocado is a serving size. 1 to 3 tablespoons of oil. Again, nothing that's heated too much or used to fry food. Baking typically doesn't equate too much, but you wouldn't want to bake anything to the point that it's black by any means. That would be too long. So that gives you an idea of some serving sizes. Anyway, yes, we need cholesterol to produce hormones and for hormonal balance and a regular cycle and regular ovulation. And no, the body doesn't make as much cholesterol it needs. You need to get cholesterol from your diet. And it's more about the types of fat that you eat to help the body make cholesterol than anything else. So be choosing those really healthy, good foods and eating them in moderation as you continue to follow your fertility diet. Well, I hope that was quick and easy to understand and helps you know that fat is okay. Choose healthy, full-fat, organic products, particularly when you eat animal products. Limit them, but eat them, choose them as good a quality as possible, free of any growth hormones, antibiotics. It would be great if they could be grass-fed and organic, of course, if you can choose that, or at least local from a farmer that lives near you that you know has really great growing practices and takes care of his or her animals in a humane way and feeds them really well and doesn't use all those things that we don't want to be consuming as a result of consuming the animal product. Those people are out there. It's a growing group, so seek that out near where you live. Anyway, thank you for joining. I hope that you all have a fantastic weekend, and I'll be back next week with another topic. See you later. Bye. Thank you. Bye. Oh, thanks everyone.